All right, the new patch has dropped. There's a pretty big change. There's been some changes, version 4.0.5. All right, but the biggest one here isn't the Magnus Ability Bug. Hopefully you guys caught on to that. I put that out there. They did fix it. They needed to fix it. It has been fixed. And the fixed extended loading time when selecting units for expeditions, that's been fixed. But we're not here to talk about that stuff today. We are here to talk about the global UI update. Now, this is a big one when going in to build your characters for certain trials. It's going to make it a lot easier. You don't have to memorize, oh man, 300%, all of your different stats. You don't have to memorize. It's going to make it very, 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 very simple for you guys to use. And you can apply this with FFBE equipped to get your general builds down. And then if you need to fine tune stuff between different fights, this UI update is going to help you out tremendously. So let's go over it. Right now, one of the easiest ways to go to it is just how we usually would. So we'll go to a unit here. Let's go to my newly door-potted Myra. She is looking strong, except I changed some gears. She used to have more spirit than this. Oh, the summer whip. Let's take this summer whip off. Let's put back on. Where's Barrels? Where's Barrels, Super Team? I'll look into the pocketbook. What is this? What is this? What is this thing called? Fallen Angle. Here it is. Boom. Look into the pocketbook. Okay, so normally this is your typical stats page, right? Your typical stats page. If you used to go to details, you'd be able to see, your different stats. How much do you have for your base stats and equipment stats and your espers. This really didn't help out that much. You could see if you had pots in your door pots, as you can see here. My limit break right here, I'm door potted 60 out of 40 with 20 door pots there, so I'm above the average. Now what you can do here is this little tab. You click this tab button, right? This little arrow, the blinking arrow, and it's going to take you over to your percentages of your character. You can see I have 237% out of the cap of 400. So the boosts to the percents of your different stats are listed here for you. This way you guys are going to know how close to the cap you are, if you are even at cap, if you're over cap. If you have way too much attack and you're not gaining an attack anymore, you're going to know this. But that's not all that this does. If we go back out and we go to a different character like Tifa, we go to details and we click over. If you're using true double hand or true dual wield, it will also show up your true double hand and your true dual wield percent, as well as what the cap is. So you can see that not only is she exactly at the percent attack cap, 400%, math that out. Thank you so much. 400% attack, she's also perfectly at the true dual wield cap. So I'm not wasting any stats. I'm not wasting any equipment between my abilities and my equipment. This is how you get super efficient at building a character. And now you're going to be able to, test the waters for yourself in game without having to break out the old pen and paper napkin, over there at Krispy Kreme or wherever it is. You guys are getting your phones all sticky while building these characters with these hot, sweaty gears. You're going to be able to do it at your own leisure with all the information in front of you. But we're still not done yet with the arrow. That's not all there is to see. You can get even more involved here. You have your espers, you have your limit break, you have your percentages, but there's one more thing that you can do here. Between the arrow at the top left-hand corner, you may have seen this plus sign. If you click this plus sign, this is going to pop up, and it's going to give you the full detail of your non-percentage attack, defense, magic, and spirit gear. It's going to show you your true double hand that you have, your true dual wield, your killer boosts, and then other buffs. All right, I want to try to go in and show as many of these other buffs as possible throughout the different characters that we have set up for this video. So let's go in here. First of all, you can see she actually does have 100% true double hand, but it's grayed out. This is because I'm not true double handing anything. True double hand only works, as it says, when you're using a single weapon in both hands, which means I'd have to take off one of these weapons to get my true double hand. But true dual wield, 200% attack right there, like we saw on the other page, is capped. So this lets you see your true double hand and your true dual wield at the same time. Then whatever one is activated will show up over here on this second slide. So we can go back over here. And on top of that, it's going to show you your killer damage boost. This is from all of your gear, all of your passives. So the character passives, the Esper passives for having them available on the Esper board, your materia, your weapons, your armor, your headpiece, your accessories, wherever it's coming from, it's applied to your character here. And as you can see, it's got aquatic killer, demon killer, and human killer. So the aquatic killer is coming from my Tiger Fangs, which is 75% from gear there. The demon killer, I have 125% of that. That's from the 125% that is coming from Diabolos. And then I have 300% human killer on the physical side, which is coming from Diobolos as well as some materia. Now, the only thing that it doesn't do here, doesn't say that this is capped, even though I know that 300% is the cap here. If I try to go over here and say, like, put on more Man-Eater, what do I have equipped right now? I can get more Man-Eater from Dark Aspirations, Man-Eater plus Man-Eater. I can have Assassin Shadows, was kind of Heartless something. Let me go put on Assassin Shadows thing. Heartless Assassin. I go back over here and click the plus. It's still 300%. So 300% is the cap. It just doesn't light up in a blue number in the UI. But we all knew that 300% was the cap before. So you're gonna know right here if you're at 300%, you're capped. No matter what you're doing here. So hopefully, we can go in here and add like a blue number or something to this, but nothing too major there. Now, the other stuff that we have access to is the other category here. The other category is only going to show what secondary effects you actually have access to on your character. So if I had 0% of physical evasion rate, it says 20 right now because I have base 20% dodge. But if I was on a character that didn't have any dodge, physical evasion rate wouldn't be here at all. All right, so if you have something that I don't have equipped, it's going to start showing up down here. This is where your other stuff's going to go. As far as other stuff here, we have Limit Burst Gauge Fill Rate. This is your High Tide, right? She has 100% High Tide. The cap for that, as you can see, is 1,000% High Tide. So 1,000% High Tide, we didn't actually know that there was a cap for that until I think someone tested for that a couple of weeks ago, maybe a month ago, found out there was 1,000. It's been confirmed now that High Tide caps at 1,000. High Tide 1,000 is going to give you basically 10 extra crystals, LB crystals, anytime you pick up one crystal. So when the little gems pop out of the enemy, instead of that giving that one gem giving you 1 point of LB, if you have 1,000 High Tide, it's going to give you 11 points of LB. And High Tide builds are how people really start cranking out those LBs over and over and over. There's also LB fill per turn. This caps out at 12 crystals per turn, 400 out of 1,200. Traditionally, we talk about this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And LBs cost, up to 36 Limit Burst crystals. This is just in the game, in-game, it's multiplied by 100 for some reason. So like an LB, if someone tells you an LB costs 30 crystals in the game, it would actually be like 3,000 crystals. But it all works the same way, just different bases, no big deal. It's just easier to talk and say 4 instead of 400. It's way quicker to say. So this caps out at 12, and you can see I have 4 out of 12 right here, and then my physical evasion rate is 20%. Now, what other kind of stuff shows up down here? I'm going to put Adventure 5 back. There we go. The blue number is back. What other kind of stuff shows up in here? So if we go in here and we look at, say, I don't think Myra has anything different. She does have some weird stats. So let's double check Myra, see if anything different shows up. Oh, she's just got High Tide and LB fill. So she doesn't have any dodge. The dodge is gone, as you can see here. But if I have someone like, is Sid in a party somewhere? Sid? Hello, here he is, Sid. Chilling out. Sid's chilling. He's looking all cool, using that true dual wield gear outside of school. Your jump damage will show up here. So your jump damage will pop in here. You can see all of his different killers he has access to. 200% Beast Killer. It's a Bird Killer, Demon Killer, Machine Killer, Dragon Killer. His true dual wield's 100% out of 200, so it's not capped yet. He's got 200% true double hand, but he's using 2 weapons, so that's turned off right now. He's got 375% out of 800% jump damage. So this is something that you can look into there. I don't know if EVO Damage is in here or not. Does Luna Freya have EVO Damage? Let's check out EVO Damage. EVO Damage. Wow, look at Luna Freya. She's natively 12 out of 12 right there. What a crazy character. Let's throw in, I think I have a summoner somewhere. Doesn't Noctis have EVO Damage? I'm not sure if EVO Damage will show up in here. I haven't actually looked at that. So Noctis, as you can see, okay, it does show up in here. So Noctis has a lot of different secondaries. So he has Limit Burst Damage Boost, EVO Damage, Limit Burst Gauge Fill Rate, Limit Burst Fill per turn, Physical Dodge, Magic Dodge. So this is all the stuff. If he had jump damage, that would show up in there as well. That might be all of the stuff that shows up in there because there's really only one more spot. We can try to see if we get jump in here. If we put on Dragoon's Wisdom, let's see if we can break it. When we're, new update, all this cool stuff, let's see if we can break it. Let's see if we can break it on purpose. Dragoon's Wisdom would give him 100% jump damage too. So jump damage, EVO damage, LB damage, LB gauge fill rate, LB fill per turn, physical dodge, magic dodge. This is not going to show stuff like elemental resistances because you can see that stuff right here already. I can't think of any other bonus stat that you could gain access to. I think that might be actually all of them. If you can think of another thing to check out in here, let me know down in the comment section below. But this is going to be the UI update. You guys make sure that you use this, especially if you're a newer player or any sort of player building your characters, especially if you don't use FFBE Equip. You guys should use FFBE Equip. It's going to make your builds even easier to do. And then I use FFBE Equip still when I'm messing around with different characters. And then I double check my builds in here on the fly. We used it on stream a lot. It is amazing to be able to do this. You'll be able to quickly be like, okay, I need this % attack, and I need, 50% more killer, and you make those adjustments and you're done. It's gonna allow you to perfect your builds on the fly when going to do hard trials, so you can maximize your tankiness, maximize your damage, your killers, your attack %, your true double hand. It's gonna make sure you're never over capped. So make sure you share this to your friends. Make sure you tell them all about it, whether it's this video or not. You get in there, you let them know all about this UI change. So there's no more, 500% true double hand friends or 800% attack friends out there. We're trying to minimize that risk, man. If you want more friends, come and join the Discord as well. It's a great place to meet new people. Just hang out, exchange friend codes, and get those different friends set up for those different trials out there. If you're looking for specific friend unit, specific thing, that is something that happens in there all the time. Links in the description below for that. So leave a comment down below if you found out about this UI change today from here, and if you've been using it and what you plan to use it for in the future, guys. And then thank you guys once again for supporting the channel with those likes and comments, as well as those nice notification bells that are on if you want future content dropped off on a silver platter at your doorstep. And once again, I have to say once again one more time, thank you for supporting the channel via Patreon as well as becoming a YouTube channel member. You guys are too gracious and too kind, and thank you guys so much for making my life just that bit easier so I can continue doing this and providing this content for you guys. Until then, guys, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.